Alrighty. Got my cup of coffee, or my cup of courage. What we've done so far is we made a rectangle tube. Yeah, if you can see that. Out of some construction paper. I didn't have any plain. It was all color, so I took whatever least obtrusive color I could find, because I'm going to take and lightly spray it to kind of blend it all in. And I got me 18 parallel lines right there. And we're going to take and use this 28 gauge enameled wire, and we're going to band this thing all around, and try to get a makeshift replacement for the old banding form factor. So fortunately, a 2x6 block of wood is about the right size. It's a little tight, but I think the loop will slide into it, and then I can go ahead and put the backbone of that ground lug, or grounding point, on the back side of this, and then mush it right into this thing, and then we'll spray it and get it all blended. So let me go ahead and do that, and we'll be back and show you what I got, if I get it when I do it. Alright, here we are. There we go. There we be. All wrapped around and around, wascally wabbit. And in case you're wondering, this is all these tack points right here are UV glue, UV epoxy glue, or whatever it is. I do it with a UV light, and what I got is a little vial of UV resin, and I double it down and tack it to the thingy. I use it for a lot of different stuff, and all it takes is just a few seconds under UV light, and it cures right up. I mean, it does get warm. So now that we got that, we can concentrate on getting the other part of it together with this, and get it. I went through and did all the scrapings on the enamel here so that I can tack solder it. I am probably not going to do every single one, but I'll do, 3 or 4 down through here to make sure it gets a good connection. I don't think they need to all be, because they're not on the zenith ones, and and that should be good enough. All it needs is a ground plane. So we're going to go ahead and see how the other part of this is doing, and we'll be right back. All right, here we are. Here is the back of the back cover with the new label, a sticker on it. And then we managed to get the terminal strip for the antenna assembly riveted on, and now we got the envelope completed, and we put a new backbone on this thing with some 18 gauge enameled wire. Hopefully you can see all this stuff all right. And here is the loop antenna with an insert into it to hold its shape, rectangular. And we're going to slide this into the into this envelope, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. We're going to slide that into there. Let's see if I manage getting this thing. Yeah. That's the only bad thing about that darn go-to glue is or anything actually for that matter, it won't stick to this wax very good. So we got this thing situated in there just about how we want to see it. Now what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to take and affix the loop framework and the loop to the envelope so that it doesn't slide around and everything. And then we're going to slide it into place here, and then we're going to fix it to the back, and then we're going to solder up all the leads back onto the terminal strip. So stand by and we'll get that done and we'll be back. All right, it is done, complete. We got the thing all finished off. We've got it adhered to the back panel. We got it all soldered in and connected. We got the pins identified. This side here we've got all in. This, yeah, I thought about stapling it in, but I mean after everything's put together and everything, there's no real way to get staples in unless I shoot them through from this side, and don't want to do that. So and these rivets here, these are those split rivets. They're you know, they got two prongs sticking up, and you know, half of the diameter is split down through the shank, and you stick it in. You can get them in different lengths and different diameters, and you just put them in there, and you use a center punch to bend the things outwards, holding the whatever you're riveting on, and then you use a flat punch and just flatten it out, and it holds it on there. And they're they're not too obtrusive and detract from the finished look of the thing. So anyway, this thing, with the exception of getting the holes in, I'm not going to do that until we get the cabinet done and ready to go. So that's it for that. Now, you know, I was just kind of wondering about this thing. I don't know why they made it so that it covers one of these holes. But you got these large openings up here at the top that you know, you get heat, you know, you can vent through. I just don't understand what they're thinking behind this, because I checked to see whether or not I could get that thing in between this span here, but no. And I double checked the old one, and yeah, sure enough, it covers this hole also. So I don't know what their thinking was behind that. So anyway, that's it for that. So what's next? I guess I can work on this thing here, because the chassis is taking a little extra time for the IF cans to cure up and dry up, so I can get them wrapped and protected, so I can shoot the rest of the chassis with finish. But I need to, I'm thinking about going ahead and, before doing that, doing the recapping, because I'm going to need to flip it this way, flip it that way and everything. I don't want to be handling it and rubbing all the finish off and things. So but I do need to protect the IF cans, because they're already finished. So we'll move on to this thing and give that until tomorrow to really cure up, so I can put some masking paper over it. So stand by. Okay, we're moving on to this push button assembly, mosquitoes permitting. You know, I got to thinking about this doggone thing, and looking at it a little closer. I didn't pay too much attention to the last one that I did of this model, but there's only 4 coils and there's 4 trimmers, and there are 5 buttons. Now, looking at my original one that I did, I don't know, 7 years ago or whatever, this one on the right hand side, on the left hand side, is the phono button. The other 4 are for other stations, or station stuff. Now, that being the case, you know, I was looking at this thing, this board here. I got to get in there and clean those contacts up. But what I was noticing was, looking at this thing really close, excuse my fumbling, I wasn't any good at football either. This second thing right here, if this one here is the phono button, this one here, it does not have any contacts in that row. If you look down through there, if you can see it pretty well, there is no contacts in that row. The contacts you see on the left side here, on the right side of that barrier strip, are these down that row. You got 4 slotted areas down through there, and one major slotted area down the middle between, dividing the two on each side. All these other shafts have these dividers in here with contacts, but this one don't. Now, what's up with that? Yeah. I'm not sure what to think about that. Because this over here, I think, is just I don't know. It's going to contacts to here, these two. It must be these must operate in conjunction with the auto setting on the main band switch shaft that kicks these in and kicks these out and does some switching in here, causing one or some of these to perform in a different mode. You got this one here is the cap for the input from the phono switch when it's depressed. It's going through the lead from the center of the RCA jack and going through and tying into the high side of the volume switch. That is that one. 005. So that I'm cool with, but this other, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm going to try and get this cleaned up as best as possible and get all this here situated out so that way when I handle it, I don't break anything. This here, the lighting is terrible. It's missing the rubber bumper. So I'm going to have to give me a bumper in there so that way, because that's the reason this shaft here gets wonky. is because it doesn't have the bumper to keep that out and keep this tapered area through deep enough to keep this rod from getting wankified. So we're gonna do something with that. Buck skeeters? Come on, this fly thinks I'm dinner. Okay, so anyway, we're going to do that, and then we'll deal with that when we run into it. It might function, and it might not function. I don't know. We'll have to see. So, thanks for watching.